What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about HZEN today, the Horizon Grayscale Trust, or it says Grayscale Horizon Trust, whatever. Um, Coming up, looking good, probably unstoppable until it sees the moon. No, I don't know. Let's actually give this a little bit more of a in-depth review here. This is at the request of the bathroom guy. Bathroom guy, we're doing this one for you. So looking at this thing overall, you came down, nothing but downside from the inception of this thing. Really, you've been accumulating for a while. I like this bottom. I really do. It's very well formed. It's got a nice kind of like cup to it. And it's got the volume increasing to boot. It looks really nice, I gotta say. But you're still absolutely in this accumulation range. I would say that you've been in it really since probably like around here, right? You're finding resistance at the top parts of it. That makes sense. Generally, not always, but a little something to help identify accumulation ranges and what to expect when you're about to break them is you do stuff like this, right? Like at any point here, you could have tipped it, whatever, stuff like that's normal whenever you're going to maintain prices in it for a while. You didn't even actually get up here, but whenever you are about to break out of a range, you hug it like this, and it's very common on top of that. Absolutely, you could just break through it without any recourse, but it's very common to see at least one last little dump, and then that's like the fuel to the fire. Gives last opportunity investors a chance to get in before it really takes off, and the weak hands, it's a little shakeout, gets them out, and then you move up. Will it move down to $1? Will it move lower? Let's go over that right now. Looking at this thing on a weekly RSI here, you do have bearish divergence, classic bearish divergence. It's not that severe. Like here it is severe, but on the price it's really not that severe. So that wouldn't call for too much of a drop, but absolutely with something like this that's low liquidity, you could move. You're at $1.65. You could move all the way down to about $1. And it's very common, in fact, after seeing this, you actually tipped your 382. So maybe you tip it again. You don't actually have to touch it. You already literally tipped off it before. So you might find a low that's just below $1.37. You might find a low that is above $1.03, right? Maybe it's around like $1.10 or something like that. You've got support here, not just at the 382, but if we take that away, looking at that here, you've got support at areas of previous resistance, previous support over here. Definitely a significant area at the $1.03 area. You could go lower. You could go lower and you would still be fine. The 618 to 69 area is all the way down at 56.5 to 65 cents. You could go that low and still be fine. Absolutely still be fine. But if I was looking to get in this thing, which I'm not going to buy it personally. No flack toward it. I like to buy the cryptos themselves. Everyone has their own style. You know what I mean? Like there's people who watch this channel and they predominantly mess with stocks, and they know that I'm a crypto guy, but that doesn't stop them from messing with stocks, right? Like it's okay to do whatever you're comfortable with. And what I'm more comfortable with personally, I would rather invest in the underlying asset. Where if it comes to gold and stuff, I like to invest like in like certain commodities. I like to invest in ETFs and trusts and stuff like that. Whatever miscellaneous funds there are, because you can't really own the underlying asset. I mean, you can, but not like on the open markets like this. I don't know. Somebody put me under fire in the comments if you have a debate for that, but I think it's all paper trading regardless, where with crypto you can actually own the asset. It's not a physical asset, but more or less you can like physically own it. It can be yours. You can take it off the exchange and own it in your own wallet, which is why if I was to invest in something like this, it wouldn't be the Grayscale Trust. I'd probably just buy the crypto itself. And yes, I do accept that this likely will see more gains than the underlying asset will. Likely being the keyword. It likely will. Like very likely will. Just based off of past performance on other Grayscale trusts that we've seen. GBTC, ETH, BCHG, LTCN, ETCG, all of those. They've performed better than the underlying asset. But what I'm trying to get to is I don't expect that you're going to go lower than this 382. I actually do think you're going to hold that dollar level. If you do, it's okay. 65 to 56 cents, somewhere around there is where you're probably going to go. And then we can talk about the upside. I don't know where the upside's going to be. There's not a whole lot of data on this thing. We can try. That doesn't look too bad, to be completely fair. I want to see what this fib would look like. I know, it's so many lines. It's probably giving you a headache. I don't like that one's not too bad either. Hard to say. I don't like that as like being like an actual top, but because it's like an ETF, it's like a traditional vehicle. It's not an ETF, but like an ETF, kind of. I mean, maybe you see this thing all the way at $100 or higher. It's hard to say. It really is hard to say. It's such a new thing, but I will say this much. I do like this bottoming pattern a lot. I do like this bottoming phase, this accumulation phase. I do believe that you will see new all-time highs. And seeing $100 might just be the tip of the iceberg. Who knows how high this thing could go? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it goes to zero. I really don't know. But that's really all I have to say. So if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Probably goes down a little bit from here. Again, I would assume that you go anywhere from about $1.03 to around, I would probably say you go below $1.37. You might hang above this low. You might form another higher low, but don't be sad if you go below it. Don't be sad if you go below this line either. You know, you're still in good shape. You're still in this overall accumulation phase. To me, the way that you're hugging this area where you're like consolidating right before a breakout, I wouldn't expect that you drop this much. The only reason that I would give that credit is there is support over here, right? And that comes in line with this over here, right? You could. It kind of looks nice with this, but also it's such a low liquidity asset that you could see huge price swings in a very short amount of time. And that, wherever, if it stops here, if it stops here, if it stops all the way down here, if it goes lower, any of those, it's going to be the fuel to the fire for this thing to go up more. So, and it does look like it wants to go up more, just immediately probably goes down. So that's really all I have to say. Yeah, looking at the daily RSI, I'm pretty convinced this thing has lower to go for sure. You really haven't even started your downside yet. Once you break this kind of like ascending trend line that you have right here, that's when you're going to really start to move down. And you probably do, genuinely speaking, move closer to that dollar area, if I really had to guess. But that's it. If you move below $1, don't be scared, don't be sad. It's just how it is sometimes, and it'll still be fine, because ultimately I think you're in this grand accumulation phase, getting ready to move up. But that's it. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.